because it's very open, like straight up open and honest. They get into to talk about transgender and her life growing up and her transformation and how she deals with people and wrestling and dealing with it. It's a lot more about her than the wrestler, honestly.
Mm-hmm. Not only that, but we have a brand new podcast to listen to in AEW Unrestricted. Their first guest, it's Tony Schiavone and what's that female ref we all like so much?
Oh, Aubrey.
Aubrey, yes. And their first guest was Cody, and it's an interesting listen. You hear a lot of he doesn't. To me, it seems like he doesn't quite understand Tony Khan and his management style.
Yeah,
but that's going off of working for Vince and everything prior to. But it's a good listen, and I'm looking forward to that podcast, just getting to know some of these superstars even more.
Yeah, I try to stray away from propaganda podcasts. I don't like the WWE ones. I have listened to the New Day one, and I like them, and they're actually probably the least propaganda you're going to get.
Yeah.
But they still, you can tell they avoid.
It was more in the
things
beginning.
and say
More in the
certain things.
beginning was when they said what they wanted, and now it's
like
they don't even try to talk about it.
So I don't know that I'll ever listen to this AEW one, because it's like, I watch your show. I don't need you. I don't need an hour commercial from you either, which is what legitimately it should be. If you're a company that has a podcast, that should be what it is. It's all about bringing eyes to your show. But one thing I do want to say, you brought up Aubrey Edwards. One thing I love about AEW, and I probably would have forgot if you hadn't just mentioned this. The women's match was reffed by just whatever ref. I don't know, whatever. It doesn't matter. It was a male ref.
Yep.
But Aubrey Edwards, who was one of their senior referees, one of their best referees, refereed the main event with two males against each other for the championship because she was the best referee for the job. I noticed that when I was watching it. Yeah, I know, but it's like you won't see that in WWE or even a lot of other companies. They'll have the women's referee for the women's matches and the male referees for the male matches.
And I love that she played like a legitimate role in the main event.
She got in the face of the inner circle and started pushing them like Hebner would do. Yeah. She is just the senior referee, and she's in the spot she deserves to be. It isn't because she's a woman. It isn't despite that she's a woman.
She might be my favorite ref in the world now. Like, probably
she's great.
Getting close to surpassing Earl himself.
She's great.
She is amazing. She's a fantastic referee. AEW I like that the referees all seem to have their own individual personality, and so you're going to get different. I've said this on the show before, where you're going to get different types of matches depending on what kind of referee you have.
Yep.
And to me, in the long term, you're going to see it more, and it's going to be nice.
Something that wasn't too pretty, though, MJF. He ended up defeating his nemesis, Cody.
Mm-hmm.
In a grudge match that... I don't know. I didn't see a lot of grudge sprinkled on it, Pasty, in my opinion.
It was kind of just a match.
It was a match.
After the huge amount of anticipation and build-up, it definitely was more of a letdown. Once again, you're 2 matches removed from the best match in America in a very long time.
Yeah, and that's going to hurt the crowd reation no matter what.
Yeah, it should have been closer to the end of the card. And
it did.
Pay-per-view a lot.
I think this was the most dead the crowd was, even considering the last match.
Mm-hmm.
For the whole match. It's a Chicago crowd. Chicago, they're honest with you. They let you know if they like it. They let you know if they don't like it. And they were 100% like that with AEW. They didn't suck up to AEW because they're the new kid in town or they're anti-WWE. They loved what they loved, and the stuff that was not good, they told you was not good, and they let you know MJF Cody was not good.
I didn't think it was terrible. It also didn't have my full attention.
I liked the weight belt lashing. That was good.
Yes.
I liked, towards the end, the real chicken shit stuff from MJF. He spitted in his face, similar to like we seen earlier in the Bucks match, which again...
Shouldn't have did that.
No, not after we already seen it. The finish got a pretty good pop. Wasn't great. I do have a problem with MJF bleeding in this match. First of all, I didn't think they needed it. We've seen blood in every AEW pay-per-view so far.
Every Cody match.
Yeah, and it's starting to not mean anything. It really doesn't mean anything anymore. This match, it was a grudge match, and I wanted more from it, but I wanted more from the storytelling and from the charisma and from the facial. Blood didn't mean that it was more.
No.
It didn't help it.
And I totally get where you're coming from, but in a world where we've been without blood for so long, I'm not quite willing to complain about it yet.
Well,
I
you will
see it,
when we
I
get to the
see
main
it, and
event,
I will.
though.
Yeah.
Because it killed that. Spoiler, it wasn't good.
No.
But I do think that post-match, I was super into Cody. I was hanging on to everything he was doing, all of his words. It was some of the best Cody I have seen yet. He was selling the heartbreak and everything. Like, I wish I would see this. This is my favorite Cody I seen was at the end of this match. I was popping for him. I seen what everybody else seen and I haven't. But I want him to do that in the matches because I personally haven't seen it in the matches yet. But it was there. I seen
You'll
the
never
spark.
get
like,
that from his ring work,
teased.
though. You'll get it from his ring storytelling from time to time.
Yeah, I personally haven't seen it from his ring storytelling, but others have, and that's what I'm saying. I've seen it here.
You said you've seen it in the Cody Dustin match.
Of course.
Yeah.
But I also think a lot of that was carried by Dustin.
Yeah, the brothers storyline in general. Yeah.
If he was facing Dustin here, I think this match would have gone up 2-3 grades. But it was MJF, who, by the way, I think is amazing. Yeah. And I think it's great. I almost think Cody held MJF down on this one, which I hate to say, but I don't know. It didn't work for me. This match and the last match, I think, were the worst out of the whole pay-per-view. And this was a big build on this one. The last match, you can say, had zero build. Obviously it was for a championship, so there's a gimmick there, but there was no build. This one had a huge build and a lot of emotion, and it came off flat to me.
Yeah. Well, what's not flat is Pac versus Orange Cassidy.
Fresh squeeze, baby.
You thought the crowd was live for the tag team championship match. They were probably at about a 6. Because when Orange Cassidy came out, man, that was nuts. Some of the loudest pops I've heard in recent memory for anything, and they were loud
off
the
that
whole
juice carton.
Match. It was great.
Yeah. They are into Orange Cassidy.
Yes.
They are just into him. And that's not a bad thing.
I said to you, if this keeps up this way, Orange Cassidy is the Undertaker of AEW. And I don't mean that in a literal sense.
No, but in a pigeonholed gimmick that in anybody else's hands has probably got shelf life. It's 2 years tops. But for some reason, they've got the mind and the charisma to just blow it out the water and just become, I love it. I love it. And he owns it. He knows how to no pun intended. He knows how to juice it.
Yes,
it is a pun intended because I was going to say milk it.
That's probably why it's his name, right?
Yeah, he knows how to juice it. Biggest pop of the night. I have that in my notes. Biggest reaction. Actually, I have a biggest reaction in AEW, and that makes the match feel bigger and more entertaining than it would initially seem because on paper, even last week, I said it's like I'm skeptical of Pac versus Orange Cassidy.
Yeah.
But Pac was awesome.
Pac was
Cassidy
great.
is super over.
You cannot give all the credit to Cassidy by any means.
But nonetheless, the story here, the story was on point. They both told a story in two extremely different styles. You hear the term styles clash, and it happens a lot. There's two amazing wrestlers who just don't gel together. Mm-hmm. And these are two amazing wrestlers with two styles that don't go together, but they gelled together beautifully.
Can we see them as a tag team in the future?
Or
do
possibly.
they not gel together that way? I don't know.
I would rather not. I want Pac to be a single success, but I'm greedy that way. That's just me.
They announced a new tag team, a three-man tag team on Dynamite this week.
Yes. Oh my God.
The Death Triangle.
Death Triangle, Pac and the Lucha Brothers.
Oh, that's gonna be tasty.
I wish they would have called it the Devil's Triangle, but okay, we get it. They can't do that. I got you. Wink, wink. And by the way, the arm drag. I've seen it before on YouTube, but when I watched it here with Pac, this is the most fluid I've seen that arm drag that Orange Cassidy does, where his hands are still in his pocket.
Yeah.
You know, but they do such a beautiful fluid arm drag. And you got to give Pac, again, you got to give Pac all the credit in the world. A lot of Orange Cassidy
He played along so well, even down to the shit kicks at the beginning. I was so happy he actually played that with him.
That was fun.
Yeah.
But I mean, a lot of the moves that Orange Cassidy does, well, actually, this goes with 90% of pro wrestling moves in general, but especially Orange Cassidy. It's the person taking it that does 95% of the work.
Yeah.
You know, it's not the guy giving it, it's the guy taking it. And Pac really sold for this guy. I got so much written here that's so great. I'm not going to go through everything other than the end was awesome, where Pac put him into his hold and not only forced him to tap but would not let go. He passed out. This is the Pac I love seeing. And I even have written here, Pasty, Pac may be his best in AEW. It's not his best in-ring work. I've seen Pac better, not saying that he won't do his best here, but he's building up. But this persona, this Pac is my favorite Pac I've ever seen. And he's
certainly better than X-Pac.
I don't know.
And he might be pretty close to Tupac.
My last sentence is literally, this is the type of entertainment you can only get from pro wrestling.
Yes.
Like, God, this was so fun. But it wasn't the campy fun you think of Orange Cassidy. Right. It was fun with a great match.
And the crowd. The crowd made the match more than anything, really. These two men had a great showcasing. Cassidy looked great. Pac looked amazing. But with the added addition of the volume of that crowd throughout the entire fucking match, this is going to be one to go down in the books. And it's one that Vince would say never should. You know what I mean?
Right. Oh, for sure. It's just everything was right in this match, whether it was
in all of the future AEW highlight packages. This is going to be featured.
It should, if they're smart, it should be. Yeah. 100 it should be. Uh-huh. The work rate was there. The story was there. The charisma was there. The crowd was there.
Steal that crowd noise and pipe it into your matches when it's not going your way.
Vince might steal some of AEW's.
Can you copyright crowd noises?
Right? I know. So good. So good. It could have took away from the main event. I don't think it did.
No. It was, honestly, I wish more bathroom break matches were this.
Where you couldn't go to the bathroom?
Yeah, where you can't. You're like, oh, I guess I'm going to hold it. And you could probably go to the bathroom during Moxley Chris Jericho, right?
Yes. No, you can't. But it wasn't what it should have been.
No. I don't think Jericho's going to go like that anymore. As a main event on a might be WrestleMania pay-per-view.
Right?
Jericho's not the guy to do it. Moxley going forward is a good candidate for your main events. And
I agree.
And I'm so happy he won the championship. It only made sense for him to win the championship.
Actually, I have something I think I wrote.
You read it?
It's almost the exact same thing that you just said. Let me see. Oh, right here. I wrote, Jericho matches aren't the same kind of wild big move matches they've been in the past, but they still carry a big fight feel.
Yes.
They still sell tickets. I
don't know. I feel that Judas elbow and I hate it. It's like it works because he's bigger now than he ever has been.
I still don't think it works.
So he's got a lot of weight behind it. That's where I think it works. I wish it wasn't, but I'm starting to get behind it. And the entrance, Jericho's entrance. Can we fucking talk about this choir of amazing singers leading
they,
him in.
they were awesome.
They were fantastic.
The choir was almost better than the match.
Yes.
I loved them. I don't know where, did they say what the choir was? I didn't